Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rick's R&R 180 by NC811 Dig. Here tonight at the beautiful Homestead-Miami track. Going to be a really awesome night here tonight. We've got a lot of cars out here on the track, so it's going to be very interesting as we're going into the second round of the 8. So next week's race is going to be the first of the final 4, but this is going to decide the points here tonight. Going going to be very interesting to see how these boys decide to handle and how it decides to shake it up. Going to go ahead, get those points pulled up on the screen. We'll go ahead and let you see who is your points leader. Colin Forrester currently out in the lead with Stan Mayberry in that second position. Jimmy Green in third, Logan Rhodes fourth, Robby Bice fifth, Ed DeBoer sixth, Chad Hitchcock seventh, and Clayton Kincart going to be in that eighth position. So a lot of drivers really right now on the edge of trying to hang on to the top four. So, you know, a lot of these drivers are going to be really setting it all out here at Homestead. This is a driver's track, so going to be very interesting to see how these boys decide to handle it up. But we do have a couple of drivers out on the track. Go ahead, see Bradley Wilson setting on the lap, or setting a lap time. Bradley currently sitting on the pole. Jonathan Coombs in that second position. Stoney Benfield in third. And DeBoer just jumped up into that pole position, so we'll see if he'll be able to better himself on this second lap. You know, he really has to do something here. This has to be his time because he is on the cutoff zone. Stoney Benfield jumped into the top position. Stoney Benfield on a really spirited run here, moving his way up to the pole position. Looks like might have had a little bit of issue. Maybe that was his second lap, but looks like he's going to set himself on the pole. Bradley Wilson not able to better himself out there either. So Jonathan Coombs doesn't look like he was able to better himself. Ed DeBoer able to jump up in front of Stoney Benfield. So Stoney Benfield going to get knocked back to that second position right now. Josh Carver going to set himself up into third. And then Jimmy Green going to set himself up into fourth. See if a lot of these drivers who are battling for these points, you know, Clayton Kincart, he's got to really put something together here this week if he's going to want to stay in for that Final Four. Him and Stan Mayberry right now, who is out on the track, currently sitting second in those points. So Stan really going to have to put something out here on the, lay it out on the line tonight to stay up there in that second position. See him running that really good looking 99 scheme there. Stan Mayberry, like we said, showing a lot of fortitude as he got, as the season went on. He got a lot better, behind the wheel, and he's really shown that he knows what to do behind these wheels now. So we'll see if he can set himself up here on this lap, coming out of turn 4, going to the line. We'll see what that lap will set him up into the 11th position. So we'll see if he can better that lap on his second time. But just to give a heads up, though, Josh is here. Normally he does enter it up, but he does have COVID, so he is in his bedroom. He is here. He's just gonna start talking in a minute.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's gonna start. No, he's gonna start talking in a minute. Just I was just giving him a second. He's got a sore throat and coughing and stuff, so just giving him a little bit of a breather for a minute. Looks like Stan Mayberry going to get that second lap, going to move himself up into that 6th position. So Stan Mayberry bettering himself on that second lap. So he's up about 2 tenths off of Ed DeBoer. So not too bad on for that 99 machine. It doesn't look like anybody is out on track for qualifying. Qualifying will end in 30 seconds. So we should have that field coming to the green here in about 25 seconds, it looks like. So Adam McKinney, Robby Bice, Patrick Ginner, Colin Forrester, Chad Hitchcock, and David Salter all have not qualified yet. Doesn't look like they're going to have the time at all, so they're just going to sit in pits. But like we said, getting ready to come to that green. Going to go ahead and pull those points up on the screen one more time, so that way you can see them. Colin Forrester in first, so he's got a little bit of a sizable gap between him and Stan Mayberry, but Jimmy Green nipping on those heels to Stan Mayberry. And then look at this, Logan Rhodes, Robby Bice, all separated by 1 point. So, Jimmy Green, Robby Bice, Logan Rhodes, all 1 point behind. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they handle this race tonight. We know a lot of people don't like Homestead, so it's going to be interesting to see how these boys handle it. But we're going to go ahead, get on board here with them, so that way we can go through the qualifying grid.
Yes, sir. As it looks like Ed DeBoer is going to sit himself on the pole position here tonight. Chris Stoney Benfield going to line up second. As we're waiting for some cars to still grid up here. Better? Okay, sorry about that. as my mic was pushed back a little bit farther than it usually is. But Ed DeBoer sitting himself on pole as we're getting cars still gritting up here. We're waiting a moment to see some more of those beautiful next-gen cars out on the track. It's going to be Stoney Benfield in that second spot here tonight, though. The Full Throttle Motorsports guys usually have a very successful team qualifying effort, but it looks like only one or two of them going to have very good qualifying runs here tonight, with Stoney Benfield sitting in that P2 spot. Then it's going to be Josh Carver in that third position here tonight. He is currently not gridded up. Jimmy Green going to be in that fourth position, with Jonathan Coombs in fifth. Stan Mayberry going to line up sixth. We've got a row of cars here, not gridded up. Bradley Wilson, Matthew Fitz, as it looks like we're starting to see some of those drivers pop in here. There's Bradley. We should see Matthew here in just a moment. As you see Bradley pop in, and there is Matthew Fitz. They're both sitting in that 7th and 8th position, row 4. As you'll see Logan Rhodes in that 9th spot, Ryan Sword in 10th. Then it's going to be Clayton Kincart in 11th, with Casey Collenbach in 12th. 13th going to go to Austin Rhodes, with 14th going to that Colin Forrester machine. Patrick Ginter going to line up 15th, with David Salter 16th. Adam McKinney 17th, Chad Hitchcock 18th, and rounding out your field, it's going to be that Robby Bice machine lining up in 19th here tonight, as we're seeing a little bit of tire smoke from one of the drivers up there, lighting them up on the start here as we're getting ready to go green here in just a moment. The field going to take to the grid. They're going to get lined back up here. You're going to see some of them use the access road. Some of them just pull straight out onto the track. They'll get lined back up here 2 by 2, and we're going to see some good hard racing here tonight. And one thing to pay attention to is the transition from daytime to nighttime here. These guys have been using the practice sessions all day. I'm sure a lot of them have the setups ready for nighttime, but you'll see some cars here probably be faster than some others, and then closing in the afternoon of the race, when we see it get really dark here, we might see a couple more cars come to life. So just pay attention to that, and let's have a good race, man. We know how good Homestead-Miami can develop a race, and we're seeing some cars that are very racy here. Oh, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, gonna see how they can handle this banking transition. We know that's a lot of what's gonna come down to it. Really big transition changes. So green flag gonna come out. The 82 at Ed DeBoer off to a green flag. We are go go go. Looks like everybody gonna get off to a clean start here tonight. Stoney Benfield though.
Not sure what the outside lane was doing. They were very checked up.
Yeah, Stoney Benfield checking up a lot on that outside lane. But we're going to go up here. We see Josh Carver blinking a little bit. Normally he does that beginning parts of the route. Whoa, we got everybody into the wall. Jonathan Coombs looks like he's going off the bottom. Jonathan Coombs, Adam McKinney.
Oh, yeah, he's done for.
Oh, it looks like Jimmy Green also involved in it. Oh, yeah, Jimmy Green. Oh, Jonathan Coombs is blown up. Everybody else, it looks like they kept it off of the track, so everybody going to stay green. We'll go back and we'll check that here in just 1 second. Just let everybody get kind of settled in. If we see any runs or any kind of battling going on, we'll go back and see. It looks like they did pull the caution out. So we'll go back and we'll see what happened between Jonathan Coombs there. It looks like he hit the wall, maybe just got a little bit of contact into that wall. Check. Oh, yeah, it looks like he got loose. Tried to keep it up into the wall, but the wall bounced him back off.
Ooh, big hit to the inside wall as well.
Yeah, Jimmy Green, really big hit into that inside wall. If you look, it looks like right here, he's loose off the corner. He tries to get down into the 51, but he keeps it up into the wall. Tries to keep, it looks like he might try to keep it up in there, but just might got a little bit of a bump from the 51, or excuse me, the 75 of Stoney Benfield, and that's what sent him around. You see 23 just going for a really hard charge in the wall. Oh, 02 hitting the wall really hard. Jonathan Coombs finishing in that third position last week. Not having too much luck here tonight. Let's see if we can go back and see that from Stoney Benfield's point of view. Stoney Benfield, yeah, you see that? It looks like he goes up to the track, gets loose right there, was able to maintain it. Looks like he was going to try to keep it up into the wall, and then Stoney, yeah, just gives him the bump. That's what sends him up and around. So it looks like Jonathan was trying to keep it up into the wall, but not able to once Stoney got into that back bumper.
Wow, there's really no room. Excuse me, I thought I was muted. There's really no room to react there, so it's not like Stoney was, maliciously trying to knock the 02 out of the way. I mean, it was just happened. I mean, big stack up. lap one, these things happen, man. Just over ambitious. They want to keep going. They want to dig. You see, not even over ambitious, just maybe a little bit over ambitious on the throttle. I mean, these cold tires, Chris. What do you mean?
With the 23
of
Jimmy Green.
Jimmy Green went across the nose
of Clayton Kincart.
Of the 77 of Clayton Kincart right here.
Trying to avoid that, gets off the front bumper of that 77. Was able to maintain it straight, but then you just saw Jimmy Green going into the wall. That's unfortunate for Jimmy Green. Oh, that's going to really hurt his points going into this. It looks like he got his hood back, so that's good. They did run over there and grab his hood. It looks like Jonathan Coombs going to go ahead just say, yep, I'm done. Maybe too long of a repair for that Jonathan Coombs machine. He did have a blown motor, so that can have a lot to say with it. See a little bit of rear end damage on that too. Just a little bit of a stack up there, maybe getting into the back bumper of a couple of drivers, but looks like everybody has got it going here now. See if we can get a hold of one of those drivers here in just a moment. See if we can find out what happened in all of that, but we will have to see. Looks like the pace lights are out. We're going to be going green this time. We were only 3 laps into this race, or 2 laps into this race. See if we can make it a little further than that. But like we were saying, this banking transition, you can see it right there. It goes from a major bank to a flat surface right there where they're at. So you can definitely see, how that 2 machine got loose. It can happen. O2, excuse me. Like we said, the pace lights are out. The 3 of Josh Carver going to be on that inside lane. Ed DeBoer going to be on the inside lane. Josh Carver going to be on that outside lane. We're going to see if he's going to get to a good start. You see the 51 of Bradley Wilson on the back bumper of that 82. So green. Ed DeBoer getting off to a good start. Bradley Wilson giving a good bump to that 51 saying, hey, man, let's go. 51 giving a good bump to the 82 saying, hey, man, let's go. They're going to get out to a good jump. The Josh Carver machine going to fall in behind him. You see the 8 of Logan Rhodes. Scrappy's moved his way up into that 4th position, up 5 spots. And then the 99 and the 12 battling it out down the back straightaway. Looks like Stan Mayberry is going to fall back in. Nope, looks like he's going to take that inside lane. Looks like he was going to fake up to that top lane. Whoa,
12 in the wall.
Loose. 22 in the
wall. All right, very
Chad
common
Hitchcock
here at Homestead.
Yeah, Chad Hitchcock getting it out of the wall, though. That, like Josh said, though, very common. It's hard. Turns 3 and 4 will definitely get you. Turns 1 and 2 are a lot of fun to go into, but 3 and 4 is not. It is definitely a handful once you don't know, once you get it figured out. Until you get it figured out. Right now, we're seeing 51 of Bradley Wilson riding that top lane. That's going to allow Josh Carver to tuck back up to that back bumper. But it looks like Logan Rhodes is starting to peek his nose back up into the competition. Stan Mayberry is on that back bumper as well. So a lot of these points guys know they got to get up here and finish. Right now, Colin Forrester currently is your points leader. Has 6 wins on the season. But it won't matter here before too long. He'll be able to go into the Final 4. But it's going to be hard for him to battle it out. It's going to open up the points gap between the guys that are up here in 2nd and 3rd place. That's really going to open up the door for guys that are who are trying to get up here and fight for that 4th position.
Yeah, we're going to see these drivers have to make a lot of moves here tonight. Chris, I heard you talking about a couple of drivers in the post-race, or pre-race, excuse me, talking about, just how they had to have a good night here tonight, and that's very true. Going into the round of 4, we're going to lose a lot of drivers. You see Bradley Wilson. Oh, he's in the wall now. Composite bodies on these next-gen cars, so you'll see a little bit of give and take with that. It's not going to be as much damage as it would be on a current, or I should say last-gen car. Kind of like the Xfinity cars. They can get up there and rub those walls and get away with a lot more. As you'll see Ed DeBoer. Patrick Ginter, he's rolled his way up. So far, that 38 machine, fastest lap, 32.27. And he's rolling pretty quick. Got himself up in from 9 spot. He qualified Oh, excuse me. In 15th, my math was way off. And he qualified 15th, worked his way up into 6th. Patrick Inter on the move right now, Chris.
Yeah, it's gonna be unfortunate though for that Jimmy Green machine. He is still down pit road, 5 minutes 39 seconds. So it's really gonna hurt that Jimmy Green machine. It's unfortunate for him. You know, it's one of those things that happens, man. It's just that was looked like a racing incident. And, you know, Jimmy's just gonna have to really get out here and fight as hard as he can to make up as much points as he can. But right now, like you were saying, Josh, we're gonna see a lot of leaning and a lot of banging up against the wall. But right now, the drivers that really have to worry, you have to worry about, like I was saying, Jimmy Green, Logan Rhodes, and Robby Bice, they are all separated by 1 point. So Jimmy Green is at 80-37. Logan Rhodes is 80-36, and Robby Bice is 80-35. So Jimmy Green being in the pits, you could pretty much count that Jimmy Green machine out. Maybe get, if he did have a win, I'll have to go back and look. Maybe a ruling of him being able to get in from a win, but we'll have to see. I can't remember the last time he did win, so I'll go back and check that out. But I do know that Stan Mayberry, he is 9 points behind Colin Forrester right now. So Stan Mayberry in that 3rd spot, well, actually in that 4th spot, battling with that 51 of Bradley Wilson. Looks like Bradley Wilson going to go around him, so going to move back to that 5th spot. So Stan Mayberry has to have a really good finish here tonight as well. But Ed DeBoer out in the lead right now is currently one of those drivers that really needs to get something done. It's sitting in that 6th spot. He is 23 points behind Colin Forrester, so he has to be the driver that really does the work here tonight to get a better. And I see Jay Tucker over in the Facebook chat saying, watching from work, can't comment much. Let's go, Logan. Also, feel better, Josh.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for tuning in from work as well, man. That's a big dedication right there to the boys out here.
Yeah, Logan Rhodes currently sitting in that 3rd spot, moved his way up 6 positions. So Logan Rhodes in that 4th position, like I said, he was in that 1 point difference between him and Robby Bice. Robby Bice right now currently sitting back in the 12th position. So got to make up a lot of positions, that 28 machine does. And we're looking back here, you see right behind him Clayton Kincart, who is sitting in that 8th position, currently on that bubble. So he is sitting with the lowest points with 827, so he's going to have to make up the most ground. Really hope a lot of these. Whoa, look at that. Ryan Sword going around. Looks like he's going to be able to save it.
Oh, he might have hit the pit wall.
Nope, looks like he was able to save it.
He's got some big rear end damage, though.
Yeah, might have had a little bit of help from that Clayton Kincart machine. No, it looks like he already had that rear end damage.
Self-spin. Just coming off the corner, man. He's in a bad spot. Car a little bit of lane lower than him in front of him. Ooh. Car lane lower behind him. That just sucked the air off that race car, especially with that damage. That looked like big aero loose right there, Chris. And I think Ryan Sword is I don't know. That car might just be wicked loose now. Yeah, he's still getting in.
He's still
he could
loose.
Wreck again.
Oh, he's
probably heated up those. Yeah, heated up those rear tires on that last spin. No aero on that car. Heck, that couldn't even been aero loose right there. That could have just been straight 94 of Ryan Sword losing the race car. That's unfortunate for him, man.
Yeah, we're seeing him still getting, looks like he's getting up into the wall. Might have to bring that car down pit lane, make an adjustment, and get some new tires. Looks like that Ryan Sword machine definitely having a problem. I do know he's streaming over on Twitch, so you could go over there and check out what's going on in that 94 machine, maybe see what he's saying. But right now, we're going to go back up on board here with Bradley Wilson. Logan Rhodes has got that Bradley Wilson machine now peeking on that back door. Patrick Ginter moved his way up into that 5th spot. Look at that, Josh. David Salter moved his way up into that 6th position, up 10 spots as well behind his teammate. So the Full Throttle Motorsports guys really got their teammates, or their setup set up. As I see Dan Gallant, when the stream started, he said, let's go Full Throttle fam. It looks like Ryan Sword did wreck. He did crash, and he's going to go ahead and jump to the pits. Might have lost that race car. We'll go back and see what happened with him. It looks like he's losing it there. Yeah, gets it back up, but then he loses it coming out of turn 2. Oh, gets into the wall, stays down on the apron, and just goes ahead and jumps to the pit.
That car looks like it had a death wish for him, Chris.
Yeah, so Ryan Sword, just unfortunate night for him, man. Just Looks like he had a little bit of damage, might have got those tires heated up, and it just came apart on him. So that is one Team Sparkle Unicorn driver that is knocked out. We'll see if Ryan Sword comes back. He does have a tow time, so we'll see if he comes back. But Jimmy Green still down pit lane, 10 minutes, 41 seconds. So, again, that's unfortunate for Jimmy Green. As it doesn't look like, as I'm going back and looking at the winner thing, he did not win a race in the postseason. So, no, he has not got himself locked in. So, yeah, that would potentially knock Jimmy Green out of the contention for that. So, that is unfortunate for that Jimmy Green machine again. Man, it's kind of like a gut punch for you when one of your buddies gets knocked out. But, you know, hey, that's just one of those things. So, right now, Josh Carver still hanging on to that fourth position. You saw him fall back a couple of positions. Now Logan Rhodes going to move himself up into that second position. Bradley Wilson moving his way up into that third position. So a lot of drivers starting to really get himself settled in. We're still not seeing Ed DeBoer really have any issues here. He is still hanging on to that first position, and he's got a little bit of a gap between him and that Logan Rhodes machine. So
But it's closing up fast, Chris.
Yeah, I was about to say it looks like it was closing up, and especially whenever now you're going to have those three cars working together. As you see Bradley Wilson starting to go up onto the top lane, looks like he might have had a little bit of tightness come into that car. Maybe that three car pushed him up the track just a little bit, but he's going to get it settled back in. See Josh Carver blinking there just a little bit, but like I said, that does normally happen every now and then. Doesn't do it too bad, so nobody really says anything about it. But you see Patrick Ginter and David Salter, they're back there trying to work together, trying to push up through the field, currently sitting 5th and 6th. Doing a good job for the Full Throttle Motorsports boys sitting up here in that top 5 and 6. Patrick Ginter, David Salter showing those setups are really
only a position separates the other two guys as well, Chris. Casey Collin back sitting in 7th, and then it's two more Full Throttle guys, 7th, 8th, and 9th. So they've got a strong car here tonight. It just, as we were talking about earlier, you know, the transition into the nighttime, we're going to see different cars come to life here. We know these guys are open setup, so it does strictly rely on them. Well, I'm sure we're going to see some cars come to life here. And speaking of coming to life, it looks like Logan Rhodes is doing that right now as he's chasing down his teammate, and he's got Bradley Wilson and Josh Carver, his other teammate, right behind him.
Yeah, we'll see if that Ed DeBoer machine might be having something go on in that car, might be having a little bit of looseness or tightness. We do see that Scrappy's starting to catch up to him, but he's also got Bradley Wilson pushing behind him. So we'll see if maybe, like I said, something going on in that car for Ed DeBoer. Doesn't look like he's got any wiggles or anything, so maybe just trying to go on a little bit of conserve here is Ed DeBoer, trying to see, oh, you see him tightening up, going to the top of the track. Bradley Wilson looks like he was trying to follow. Is he getting a really big run down that front straightaway? Was that 82 going to put a little bit of separation between him and that 8? But Bradley Wilson pushing the 8 of Logan Rhodes through the corner. Let's see if Logan Rhodes can tuck back in. It looks like he does. So 51 going to be hanging it out there. Whoa. 51 trying to just tighten up that 8 just a little bit so he can get up around him, but not able to. Oh, that 51's really eating those tires up. See him going up and down the track there. But hey, he knows how to race this car.
Yeah, not in the playoffs, but Bradley Wilson's still got nothing to lose here. He wants to go out here and win this race.
6 wins on the season for Bradley Wilson, so no slouch to that front end. Whoa, going all the way up the track. That's really going to eat those tires up. That's what I was talking about, going from that bottom lane to that top lane. Just imagine like a really big cheese grater on those tires. It's pretty much what you're doing, just eating them up, heating them up. So it's one of those things to watch out for. Now you see Bradley Wilson starting to fall off just a little bit. Logan Rhodes starting to tighten up, going out of the corner, but not going to get into the wall, but he's going to try to tuck up to his teammate Ed DeBoer, but Ed DeBoer likes what he's seeing behind him, just this little bit of fighting going on in that rear view mirror. That's going to slow everybody up behind him, and he's going to be able to stay out here in the front. But we'll see how long the fuel runs are here before too long. We've already had a couple of drivers come down pit lane. Colin Forrester, Clayton Kincart, Stoney Benfield, Matthew Fitz all came down pit lane. Looks like Jimmy Green on his way out right now. Good to see Jimmy Green coming out back out onto the track. So going to try to turn as much laps as he can and get as many laps or many points as he can here on the track tonight. So good to see Jimmy Green on his way back out. It looks like Austin Rhodes going to bring that number 12 down pit lane right now at lap 29. We'll see when everybody else decides to do that. So Austin Rhodes might be setting himself up here for an early pit stop advantage.
Yeah, what stinks about Jimmy Green, though, being 24 laps down, is that he's pretty much still out of contention right now, Chris. He would have to have a miracle to be able to get up there and possibly continue his race, for the points. But you see that 51 washing up again high, and now he's got Josh Carver starting to peek to the inside. They are starting to catch DeBoer, though. But yet, he still looks like a strong lead car, and it looks like Josh Carver really wants to get past 51 here, as he's going to drive it into the low lane. They're both going to go to the low lane, but it looks like that 3 just very anxious here at lap 31. He wants to start making the moves, as you see Stan Mayberry starting to fall back. The 9 of Colin Forrester really hasn't had much success here tonight.
Yeah, you see him getting loose up there on that top lane. Go back up here and check what's going on up front, though. I see over in the Facebook chat, Daniel Ship saying Rev Boys looking strong. Yes, sir, they are. The Rev Boys really looking strong right now. If Josh Carver can get around Bradley Wilson, then they will have a really good push up here. But right now, Bradley Wilson being that little bit of aggravation in the 3-car tandem. He's trying to get in here and break it up. You see him giving a pump to that 8 of Logan Rhodes. But Bradley Wilson doing his best Ryan Newman impersonation, making that car really wide. Whoa, getting loose. Josh Carver getting up on that back bumper, getting him a little loose. We're going to go back, though. We're going to see David Salter moved his way around Patrick Ginter, though.
Good run from Salter.
Yeah, Patrick Ginter right now is currently sitting in the 6th spot, up 9 positions. David Salter up 11. So David Salter has moved his way up through the field really nice. Like Josh said, good run by him. And then back behind him, Robby Bice just in a league of his own right now. Colin Forrester about a 1.5 seconds back from him. Then Stan Mayberry trying to get around that 9 of Colin Forrester. He needs to finish as well as he can. Stan Mayberry does. Try to set himself up for a good finish going into the round of 4. He is currently sitting 2nd, but if he doesn't make doesn't make a lot of good points here tonight, then that's not going to really matter. He could get knocked out of contention, as you see the 13, Vadim McKinney, who is going to be making an inside run. But we're going to go back up here on front. I see it looks like the ticker was just lying to me. It said somebody was going to make a pass, but maybe it just lied to me. I do know this thing can lie sometimes, but right now, looks like David Salter is starting to pull away from Patrick Ginter ever so slightly. And if David Salter's got about a 5-second gap between him and Josh Carver, so David Salter could start catching back up here and have something to say.
Oh, Bradley Wilson peeking to the outside now, as he seems like he wants to make a pass, but I don't know if he's really got the real estate off the corner to make the pass. I mean, obviously there's enough lane, enough grooves here to go up and make a pass at Homestead. It just looks like he doesn't have the drive out of 3 and 4 like he does 1 and 2. Looks like he's really suffering on that side of the racetrack. As you see him wheel it off here into 1 and 2 here. Lap 36. Quarter of a way through this race as you see Logan Rhodes now starting to catch at DeBoer. This is the closest he's been to him, within a 10th. And Logan Rhodes started in 9th, man. He's doing an excellent freaking job here. We know Scrappy is one of those guys all season that has just shown up and shown out. 2 wins, and he's just looked very excellent here in the postseason as well. Looked consistent and rolling here into 2nd place. You see that 8 machine still looking very good here. Yeah, rolling at lap 37, and it looks like he might have lost a little bit out of 1 and 2 there, though.
Rhodes, like you just mentioned, Josh, won 2 races early on. really started to come alive. I see over in the Facebook chat, Jackie Tucker Rhodes over there saying, Logan Rhodes, yeah, Logan. So I see Logan's mom over on the Facebook chat cheering you on. So, hey, man, she's out there watching. So currently sitting in that second place is Logan, doing a good job. He needs to really get a good finish here tonight. Second place would be a good finish, but I know he wants that first place. But like we were touching before, Josh, got those 2 wins. Felt that little bit of victory and said, you know what, I can do this. I can make it 3 wins. You know, so maybe Logan Rhodes can get out here and make it a 3-win season for himself.
We'll see. I mean, he's done a very good job all season. Looked solid all season.
4 wins, excuse me. 4-win season, excuse me.
Oh, yeah, I was behind as well. I said 2 wins as well. Do apologize about that.
Yeah, he's got 3 wins. I meant to say 4-win season. Excuse me about that. Look at that. Bradley Wilson all the way to the top lane. Riding all the way up against that wall. See if Bradley Wilson's starting to really decide to take that top lane. Knows that these cars get really loose down here on the bottom of 3 and 4. You see him taking it all the way to the top, getting loose. Bradley Wilson almost lost it, but he's going to save it. Coming out of 4. Woo, that was really sketchy. You know Carver's back there going, man, just good save. You're going to see right up against that wall is Bradley Wilson.
Ooh, Carver taking a peek to the inside there down the back straightaway.
Doesn't look like he's going to make anything work out of it. Looks like right now Carver has got about a 6-second gap now to that David Salter machine. But as you look behind him, David Salter still got that 36 behind him. It looks like David Salter coming down pit lane as I was bringing it out. So it looks like David Salter going to go ahead and pull the trigger on the pit stop. We're going to see how many drivers decide to stay out or if anybody's going to go ahead and keep going here for a couple more laps.
Yeah, we'll see. That sets Salter up for, I guess, an undercut if these boys come down here soon. We'll see how the rest of the field reacts here. It looks like Carver down pit road, Chris.
That could be setting it up. Gonna see how many of the Reb Motorsports guys decide to go together. It's going to promote Patrick Ginter. I almost said Patrick Wilson. Oh, my goodness. Patrick Ginter to the 4th position. Bradley Wilson is still on that back bumper of Logan Rhodes, though. Man, this is really going to shape out to an awesome Final 4 bout. You know, if Ed DeBoer and Logan Rhodes can finish 1-2, man, that's going to really set it up for an awesome shakeup. Right now, Casey Collenbach moved his way up to the 5th position, and then you see back there, Colin Forrester slowly moving his way through the field, currently sitting in that 7th position. So Colin Forrester he's saying, hey man, don't count me out just yet. I'm still poking my way through here. So he's just probably going on a little bit of whoa as I'm talking about that. You see that 9 getting really loose. So maybe that's why Colin Forrester hasn't moved through the field too much here tonight. I saw him every time we go to him, maybe fighting a little bit of looseness in that car. So maybe just that's what you see is it looks like right now. I was going to say it looks like Logan Rhodes was getting a really good run up to the 82, and he is. Doesn't look like he was going to make. I was going to say he could have made a move if he wanted to, but he didn't. He did get out of the gas and slow up. Didn't push the 82 into the corner either. Didn't want to really get his teammate upset into the corner. Good driving there from that 8 of Logan Rhodes.
Yeah, as you're starting to see it, what looks like possibly DeBoer fall off, Chris.
Yeah, whoa. See if that 82's starting to have a little bit of issue in that car.
We saw him wash up high there, but it looks like he's got it gathered back up.
Yeah, it looks like that 82 machine just had a little bit of a moment, if you will. It looks like he's got it calm, cool, and collected now. Starting to put a little bit of separation between him and Logan Rhodes, but See if that 38 of Patrick Enter can make up any space right now. Josh Carver, David Salter, Austin Rhodes currently a lap down. Looks like Jimmy Green's still out on the track, currently 14 laps down. Let's see, 25 laps down, excuse me. So Jimmy Green currently 25 laps down, but still out there trying to fight for that position. It looks like the 38 of Patrick Enter coming down pit lane, Josh. So Patrick Enter going to go ahead, come down pit lane. So we'll see if anybody else decides to come down. Ed DeBoer right now currently coming up into a little bit of traffic as you see Chad Hitchcock, who he is about to go a lap down. See if Chad Hitchcock, it looks like Ed DeBoer thought about going down pit lane but missed it. Looks like Ed DeBoer maybe thought about coming down pit lane, but doesn't look like he was able to get it slowed down. Maybe he saw that 2 coming on the bottom of the track. I did see the 2 of Matthew Fitz running that bottom lane, so maybe that's what I saw, or maybe what he saw and decided to not go into it. Is now we see a big kerfuffle going on back here. The 51 got the 22 slowing him up just a little bit. That's going to allow Josh Carver to get around. He's going to push up here around the 8 of Logan Rhodes. Josh Carver's fast. He can get to the front really quick. There he goes. He's currently saying that he is sitting in that 11th position, so I'm pretty sure he might have had an issue. Not really sure, but he is definitely... Oh, he came down at lap 41. Oh, I am so dumb. I am an idiot. He came down at lap 41. I'm not even paying attention anymore. So Josh Carver just unlapped himself. I do apologize. So Ed DeBoer still in the lead. Logan Rhodes right behind him. And then now Bradley Wilson tucked up to that back bumper. So we're just gonna erase that last 10 minutes. Right now, everybody looks like they're kind of trying to get settled out here.
Salter just gave a bump to Bradley.
Yeah, we do know there's a little bit of animosity going on between those 2 guys. I did see them talking to each other in chat, so maybe Salter just giving him a little bump saying, hey man, I'm still here. David Salter on his way to try to get his lap back the old-fashioned way. He's going to go ahead and get around that 82, so this is where we start asking, you know, when do you come down pit lane? Because those tires now, those older tires are really starting to lose a lot of time. It looks like Clayton Kincart coming down right now. Now Case Collinback going to be behind that 2 of Matthew Fitz. Wonder how long these boys are going to stay out on these older tires, though. Like I said, starting to really lose a lot of time. You see David Salter starting to get a really big gap between them. You see Josh Carver also getting a really big gap between them on those older tires. So really going to wonder when they're going to come down pit lane. Right now it looks like the 82 was going to do it earlier but decided against it. So looks like still going to stay out, but Bradley Wilson still riding that top lane. Probably trying to conserve a little bit of tires. He knows there might be a caution here before too long, but this is a wide open track. So not a lot of cautions do happen here. Especially if they do keep it off of the racing line. Colin Forrester moved his way up into that 6th spot. It looks like Josh Carver now getting around that 75 of Stony Benfield. Stan Mayberry moved his way down to the 7th position. Currently trying to battle his way back up here. He's got that 13 on his inside, so we'll see if he can make anything happen. But like I said, it's just going to really come down to when these boys are going to come down pit lane. It looks like Bradley Wilson giving a really big push to that 8. Oh, well, I can hear it.
So it should be Carver, your leader? if everybody pits.
Yeah, let me look at it. Coming down pit lane, if everybody was to come down, yes, it looks like Josh Carver would potentially take over the lead as you see him getting around everybody right now. You're starting to see those older tires are really starting to hurt. Josh Carver is pretty much catching them off of pace right now.
I mean, yeah, and he's only 24 seconds down, so if they pit, I mean, he 100% takes the lead. But he's also shortcut himself on fuel to the end of the race.
Yeah, so that's really gonna, that's really gonna throw a ugly head into the picture. So we're gonna see if that 3 is gonna have enough fuel to the end. But right now, Josh, we're sitting with 56 laps of 120, so we're about to come to the halfway point. And they still haven't pit, so that means they can go for about 60 laps. So Carver could potentially be good if they can go about 65 laps, 70 laps.
Potentially. I mean, it's one of those gambles you have to take. I mean, if you want this race, Homestead's one of those tracks, man. It's a lot of pit strategy involved in winning here. And a lot of driver skill also involved. This is a very hard track to get around and win at, so you'll see these guys definitely have to try to win the race by other measures, as Robby Bice is going to pull down pit road and get his service.
Man, those full throttle skins look really good.
They do look very nice here tonight.
Is under the lights here at Homestead. The 82 of Ed DeBoer still out in the lead. Bradley Wilson still holding on to that 3rd spot, but Logan Rhodes, who's up 7 positions right now, still trying to battle with his teammate, trying to put as much separation as he can between him and that 51. But we're going to have to see how long they decide to stay out here. Because like I said, it's just all going to come down to how much fuel they can manage, how much fuel they can save. Banking transition, the car pretty much goes sideways and then straight back out. That is a big banking transition here. So, that's one of the things that a lot of these drivers are having to fight back and fight against, is that banking transition. A lot of these cars can get loose. Stoney Benfield looks like he is on his way down pit lane right now. Whoa, looks like he almost missed it, but he was able to get around those yellow cones. Right now, Stoney Benfield going to go a lap down. So right now, only 9 cars on the lead lap, but our leaders have yet to pit. So that's really going to show, that's really going to change once these drivers come down pit lane. But if we do have a caution right now, that's going to really upset the field.
Yeah, it could throw a big wrench in the field and make them all get mixed up. We've got a good bit of cars lapped now, Chris. Whoa, and there comes our 3 leaders down pit road. There comes Case calling back, and then Josh Carver will be promoted to the lead.
Yeah, so Josh Carver has set himself up into the lead here early on. So if we don't have any more cautions, this could really come down to if Carver's able to save enough fuel. So right now,
and if he's going to have the tires at the end.
Yeah, but now he's going to be up there pretty much by himself. So he's really going to be able to go on a cruise. But right now, David Salter's also trying to peek his head up in here. But look at that, Josh. Logan Rhodes going to win the race out of pit road. So right now, Ed DeBoer going to be in that 6th position. Bradley Wilson in 7th. Josh Carver going to promote himself out to the lead. Looks like he's coming back around. You see right there, the 75, Stoney Benfield, who is currently your lucky dog, trying to battle it up with that 51 of Bradley Wilson. So yeah, Bradley Wilson currently sitting in that 7th position. Ed DeBoer is going to promote himself to the 6th position. Logan Rhodes moved out in front of his teammate, so he's going to be out in front of him. 3 seconds back is 3 seconds ahead is Patrick Ginter, and then Stan Mayberry going to be in that 3rd spot, yet to come down pit lane. So we should see him come down pit lane here before too long. but he has not come down pit lane yet. So currently 63 laps out, 64 on the track. So yeah, excuse me, 63. So Stan Mayberry going to have to come down pit lane here before too long. But David Salter came down lap 40. Josh Carver lap 41. So Josh Carver really setting himself up here into a good position if he can make it to the end on fuel.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to have the tires, Chris. One thing we remember, Carver had to unlap himself. They don't have to. Bradley, Ed, and Logan, they're just 20 seconds back. I mean, he was, almost 60 seconds back when he had to unlap himself. So, I just don't think he has the tires.
Yeah, but we'll
in
have
the
to
long
see.
run.
But
with a late race caution here, that could mix things up for Carver big time.
Yeah, right now, as you see, Colin Forrester currently trying to unlap himself. Looks like Colin Forrester. Right now, only 6 cars on the lead lap. Bradley Wilson is your last car on the lead lap. Austin Rhodes is currently your lucky dog. So this could really shake up if we were to have a caution. See, Josh Carver right now, got about a 20-second gap between him and these 3 drivers. Ed DeBoer, Logan Rhodes. It looks like Logan Rhodes going to be giving up that 4th position to Ed DeBoer. Ed DeBoer going to go ahead and make a move on that inside. Logan Rhodes going to try to tuck up behind him. So here at lap 66. Josh Carver currently leading. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to a 811 dig, turn it up, so make sure to get those loud, or those sides, full screens turned up, get your sound systems turned up if you're watching on TV, and get ready to enjoy the sights and sounds of the beautiful Homestead-Miami. welcome you back from that 811 Dig loud pedal. As we've seen a lot of drivers really trying to pull up to that Josh Carver machine, who now only has a 12-second gap between him and Ed DeBoer and Logan Rhodes. So those older tires are really starting to come in and show their ugly head. So a lot of drivers really going to have to start thinking about, the tire management. Josh Carver probably trying to maintain as much as he can. But Ed DeBoer, Logan Rhodes, Bradley Wilson are on a really mean tear right now. Now got him down to almost 10 seconds. So it's going to really come down to if Josh Carver has anything left in the tank, because now 20 laps on those tires difference between Josh Carver and Ed DeBoer. David Salter also 20 lap different tire between him and Ed DeBoer, Logan Rhodes, Bradley Wilson. So right now that's going to be the difference between these guys. It looks like David Salter now got about a 2-second gap between Ed DeBoer and him. You see that the 23 there of Jimmy Green, who is trying to limp around, just trying to get the best finish that he can, trying to take that top lane. But you see everybody getting around him: Ed DeBoer, Logan Rhodes, Bradley Wilson, all getting around him. See Matthew Sanders over in the YouTube chat saying, "Go Logan Rhodes, we were rooting for you, man." So Logan Rhodes got a plethora of people out there rooting him on. So Scrappy out there looking like he is the crowd favorite here tonight. Logan Rhodes doing a good job setting himself in that 4th position. They are currently catching David Salter now. Almost got him to underneath a second. Now underneath a second as I'm saying it. So you see David Salter starting to peek into the picture there up in front of that 82 of Ed DeBoer. So going to have to see if Ed DeBoer has what it takes to, if David Salter has what it takes, but it doesn't look like he does. He's just going to go ahead and take that high lane. Looks like the 51 going to try to tuck up there, push that. Nope, looks like he's going to tuck back down. Was trying to use trying to get a little bit of a slingshot off of that 88. You're going to see David Salter now promote himself back to that 4th position. Ed DeBoer now trying to surge down Josh Carver. Now got it under 7 seconds, 7 3/10 of a second. So Josh Carver really falling off now. I want to say Josh is currently stepped away from the booth. He is not feeling too good. Like we said, found out he was tested positive for the vid today, so he's just not feeling too good. So he said he will. He's just going to step away for a little bit. If he comes back, he will come back. If not, then I will finish it out for the rest of this. But we'll see if we can get Josh back up in here towards the end of the race. But just letting everybody know, if you you just hear my ugly voice going, that's what happened. But Josh, currently, like we said, not feeling too good, but he's trying to tough it out. But right now, Josh Carver now falling under about a 6 3/10 gap. So Josh Carver starting to really fall off. Now Ed DeBoer got it under 5 seconds, under 6 seconds. So now 5 7 7/10. So yeah, Josh Carver's tires are really starting to fall off. Going to go back here and see Logan Rhodes. Got a little bit of a separation between him and Ed DeBoer. I see over in the YouTube chat, Jonathan Christian saying, "Let's go Carver." Rick R&R got to take this one home. So we got a Josh Carver fan over in the YouTube chat. So Josh Carver right now falling off, you losing a lot of time to that Ed DeBoer teammate. Now got it down to almost 5 seconds. It looks like David Salter going to go ahead, pull down pit lane. So maybe that little bit of waiting or that little bit of early pit cycle really came back to bite him. It looks like Patrick Ginter also pulling down pit lane. So the 2 teammates going to go ahead, pull it down pit lane. David Salter looks like just taking fuel only. Nope, I say that. Looks like maybe missed his pit stall. It said he was on his way out, but maybe just freaking out there. It looks like Josh Carver also coming down pit lane. So those older tires are starting to show their head. So that's going to promote Ed DeBoer back up into the lead. Logan Rhodes going to be in that 2nd position. And then the 51 of Bradley Wilson going to be in that 3rd spot. Casey Collenbach, since he is currently on the track, he will promote himself out to that 4th position. And then back behind them, Colin Forrester is going to move his way up into that 5th position. Looks like Robby Bice going to stay out as well, promote himself into that 6th spot once he passes Carver, who is currently still sitting down pit road. Stoney Benfield and that 12 of Austin Rhodes now currently battling for position. Now we got a lot of drivers who are currently sitting off the lead lap, so if a caution was to come out, there's currently only 5 drivers on the lead lap. So right now, Ed DeBoer, Logan Rhodes, Bradley Wilson, Case Collenbach, Colin Forrester, and Robby Bice. Currently, 6 drivers currently sitting on the lead lap. So that's really going to throw a wrench in these points here coming to the end of the night, as we should have the points here towards the end of the race, as we should know who is going into that Final 4. We'll find out here. Looks like Ed DeBoer, Logan Rhodes, Bradley Wilson, who is not in the fight right now for the points. Colin Forrester, who is currently your points leader, is currently sitting on that lead lap. And then Robby Bice, who needs a really good finish here as well, currently sitting in that 6th position. Ed DeBoer still hanging on to that lead. Right now, since we've got green flag action, we're going to go ahead and go to a NC811 Dig side-by-side, get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with more of the action, and you won't miss any of it.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on NC811.org or the NC811 app.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit NC811.org to learn more.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
Oh, and we welcome you back from that NC811 Dig side-by-side, and I saw the 12 of Austin Rhodes go around, so we'll have to go back and see what happened with Austin Rhodes in that Team Sparkle Unicorn number 12. See what happened. It's like going into turn 4, turn 3. Whoa! Big violent hit there. Oh, and then the 22, he's got his teammate into him. Oh my goodness, Chad Hitchcock just nowhere to go. Right on board here, see what if we can see what happened. Just big hit there. I'm gonna go back and see it from Chad Hitchcock's point of view. See the 12 get up into the wall right there. Probably thinks he's going to go down the track, so doesn't get out of it, and then just nowhere to go. Stoney Benfield just looks like Austin Rhodes was trying to keep it up to the top of the track, and Chad maybe thought he was going to the bottom, and unfortunate there for those two teammates. Chad Hitchcock, that's going to shoot himself in the foot as far as the points goes as well. So everybody coming down pit lane, though. Ed DeBoer, Logan Rhodes, Bradley Wilson, Case Collenbach, Colin Forrester, and Josh Carver, who just came down pit lane, going to come down again. Take that fresh set of tires, full set of fuel. And that way he can get out here and be on the same strategy as everyone else. We'll see who wins that race out of pit road. It looks like the 82 at Ed DeBoer going to win that race out. Logan Rhodes going to promote himself to the second position again. See who gets out. Looks like Case Collenbach going to get out in third. Bradley Wilson in fourth. And David Salter looks like he did not come down pit lane. He currently was down pit lane lap 79. So he did not come down. I want to say he was a lap down. So went ahead, decided to take that lap back. So he should come down pit lane this time by. You see the 9 there, Colin Forrester, currently sitting in that 5th spot. So right now, Josh Carver trying to get on that same strategy as everybody else, so that way he has the same tires. The 99 of Stan Mayberry has not come down pit lane yet either. Just gonna see if it's a strategy play from him. Looks like Stony Benfield, Patrick Ginter down pit lane. Looks like who is also down pit lane. Robby Bice going to elect to stay out. He came down at lap 83. So it looks like 4 Sparkle Unicorn drivers are on pit lane. So Matthew Fitz, currently the only lone Sparkle Unicorn driver out on the track. See if Chad Hitchcock or Austin Rhodes can get back out on the track. But don't know if Chad Hitchcock has the car. Did see a really hard hit there to Austin Rhodes, so might have hurt Austin Rhodes' car as well. They're currently sitting down pit lane. Austin Rhodes down 3 minutes 28. Chad Hitchcock 3 minutes 3 seconds. So yeah, really hurt race cars there. It looks like all of these drivers getting ready to take that wave around. Stony Benfield. Ed DeBoer currently is going to be your leader. It looks like the pace lights are going to be off and everybody should go back around. To Matthew Fitz, the 77. Clayton Kincart. Getting those laps back. So right now, this is where it's really going to come down to play. We've only got 29 laps to the good. So I see Jay Tucker saying had to take a lunch break to watch the end of this race. It's good to have you here again, Jay Tucker. And then I also see Jackie saying you should have came here. It's on the TV. Pretty awesome. Watching on PC, eating supper. Good to have you here again, Jay, man. Good to see that dedication. I love it. But right now, looks like the pace lights are off. He's going to take that hard left turn. The 82 of Austin Rhodes. Excuse me, 82 of Ed DeBoer. 8 of Logan Rhodes. Going to be taking that green, and we are off. Back here at lap 92, let's see who can set up. Going here into turn 1, it looks like Bradley Wilson decided to go with that 8 of Logan Rhodes. They're going to go ahead and get around that 84 of Case Collenbach. But look at that, Josh Carver starting to poke his head back up in here. Anybody's going to have anything to say, that Carver machine going to have to say it here now, or forever hold his peace. Right now, Colin Forrester trying to also hold on to a top 5 finish at least. Just trying to get up here and finish in a good spot. Whoa, Casey Collenbach, Josh Carver making contact. Josh Carver around. Looks like the 9 also going a little sideways, maybe collecting it. As it looks like the 84 might have tightened up just a little bit coming out of corner exit. As it looks like Carver's riding that top lane, it looks like the 84 just, starts slightly getting up into him. Gets into that door panel, sends him around. 9 getting a little bit of a hit. See if anybody else was involved in it. Looks like everybody going to get around it. See if we can watch it from Colin Forrester's point of view. See, there's the bump. Tries to get around it, but just wasn't able to make it. Looks like he was able to get on the brakes, though, keep it out of that outside wall. Good on him for able to keep it out of the wall, but that bump into the wall with Carver is still going to hurt him. So Josh Carver down pit lane, Colin Forrester, David Salter, Stan Mayberry, Matthew Fitz, Clayton Kincart down pit lane. It's like David Salter on his way out right now. Stan Mayberry also on his way out. Here at lap 94. We are almost done with the third caution, man. Whenever you have a green flag race, man, they just fly on by. But it's good to see that 82 really out here showing how it's done. And then Logan Rhodes really holding on to that second position. We know Bradley Wilson, he's a really hard car to hold off, and he has been holding them off all night. So Bradley Wilson hanging on to that third spot. You saw that little bit of contact there from Case Collenbach and that 3 of Josh Carver. Josh Carver back out on the track. He should stay on the lead lap. So just take a little bit of damage repair, new set of tires, and hope he has the pace to keep up. As we should be going green next time by. See the 51 of Logan, or excuse me, the 51 of Bradley Wilson back there scrubbing the tires. Trying to get a little bit of heat into them before we get going green. It looks like a lot of drivers, though, who are in contention for these points. Ed DeBoer, Logan Rhodes really setting themselves up into a good position. They could promote themselves into that Final Four. Colin Forrester sitting back in that 9th spot. I know he is currently leading. He's currently leading in those points, but could do know that he has the 2 last wins. Or he did have the win last week at Indianapolis. So I have to see if that promotes him into. I cannot remember. I can't remember if it does lock him in. I'll have to get word from someone else. But I want to say it does. That he was locked in, so it'll only be a battle for 3. But I could be mistaken. So I'll have to get word from that. But I'll find out here going into the round of 4 at Auto Club next week. Pace lights are out. Ed DeBoer going to be on that inside lane. Logan Rhodes going to be on the outside lane. Bradley Wilson starting on that inside lane. So he's not going to have that 8 unless that 84 Casey Collenbach can gets off to a bad jump. The 84 should be on that back bumper of that 8. So we'll see how well we get off to a restart. Green, green, green. Ed DeBoer going to get off to a good start. The 51 of Bradley Wilson going to be pushing. Looks like Logan Rhodes got off to not such a good start. David Salter going to promote himself up into that 4th position. Logan Rhodes going to tuck back up to the back bumper of that 51. Whoa, getting a little loose there, but he's going to try to make a move. Whoa, we got 2 wide racing back here. Josh Carver moved his way back up into that 5th spot. He's showing you he's not out of this yet. 24 laps to go here. This race is almost official. Josh Carver, though, with that little bit of damage, still showing you that he is fast out here on the track. go back up here on board with that 51 of Bradley Wilson. Ed DeBoer still out in the lead. The 8 of Logan Rhodes hanging on to that third spot. Bradley Wilson going up to the top. I was going to say maybe he was tightening up. But it looks like he was just trying to ride it up just a little bit, trying to get a little bit of momentum coming out of the corner. He's going to eat into those tires just a little bit. Is that 51? Whoa, a little bit of tightness from that 82. It's going to allow Bradley Wilson to tuck up to that back bumper. As I was just muted that entire time. Sorry, took a sip of drink and forgot to mute my mic. I was going to say, looks like Josh Carver now under attack from that 88 of David Salter. He's got that little bit of front end damage. So really killing that momentum is the front end damage for that Josh Carver machine. You see David Salter going to go ahead and promote himself back out in front of Josh Carver. So now that Josh Carver is behind David Salter, he should be okay as far as the draft, but being out in the front, that's really going to kill that speed. Now you should see Logan Rhodes. Oh, it looks like he's starting to fall off a little bit from that 51 of Bradley Wilson, but Ed DeBoer still got a blanket over him and that 51. Yeah, Josh, he, like we were saying earlier, he went to the doctor today. He started feeling really bad last night, and he went to the doctor today, and they did a corona test on him, and he tested positive. So he's running a fever. He's got a really sore throat. He doesn't feel good. So he's laying down on his bed right now. We've got a heater in his room. He's freezing. He's like, we're just trying to get him to feel better. So right now, yeah, he's trying to just recuperate right now, I guess you can say. But he went to the doctor, and they just said there's nothing we can do, and they sent him home. So he's just not feeling too good, though. But we really do appreciate the thought there, Jay. Really do appreciate that. But David Salter now starting to peek up to that back bumper of Logan Rhodes. So David Salter could have the setup here to go all the way. You see Josh Carver starting to fall off just a little bit. That damage really starting to affect him. Really do appreciate that, Jay. Really do, man. I really do appreciate that. But right now, Logan Rhodes now looking up in that rear view, he's starting to see a lot of cars he doesn't want to see behind him. Gonna see Logan Rhodes now taking a move on the inside of Bradley Wilson. Logan Rhodes on the inside, gonna make a slide job. Will it stick? Looks like Logan Rhodes will make it stick. Gonna assume that third position. Let's see how long David Salter decides to wait behind the 51. Because right now, David Salter, he is on lap 93, or he came in at pits at lap 93, so does look like he did take tires. So maybe a little bit of a play here from that David Salter machine. He might have he might have the car to go the distance if this race stays green. But we always know cautions breed cautions. So Logan Rhodes now sitting in that second spot, hanging on to it, trying to get up around his teammate. But Ed DeBoer not going to give it up so easy. I see Cheryl Wilson over in the YouTube chat saying, go number 51. So Cheryl Wilson over there going for that Bradley Wilson machine. Bradley Wilson, like we said, he can really bang up a race car and still finish this race. So Bradley Wilson showing that he knows how to get it done here. Also 6 wins on the season. So what does that tell you? No, it just doesn't say, Bradley Wilson wasn't, only the, last season's Cup Series championship. Whoa. As it looks like David Salter was getting back up to that back bumper. It looks like he did back off of it, though. You see Jackie Tucker Rhodes saying, Logan Rhodes, yeah, baby, currently sitting in that second position. But Bradley Wilson looks like he's Logan Rhodes looks like he's starting to fall off just a little bit to that 82. So we'll see how he decides to maintain it. If the 51 is going to hang it down here on the bottom lane going into turn 3. Doesn't look like it. He's just going to tuck in behind him. So we'll see if David Salter has anything to say as you see him going a little high on the track. Whoa, let's see. He was going to see if he had a run, but he didn't. As I see a little bit of frame dropping going on over in the stream, I do apologize about that. A little bit, I think this whole snowstorm and everything going on, man, they have really screwed our internet up, so I'm going to have to get a hold of them. But right now, the 82 of Ed DeBoer still hanging on to the lead. The 8 of Logan Rhodes still hanging on to that second position. We'll see who has the better tires. David Salter did come down pit lane earlier on, but might have tore that equipment up trying to catch up here to the field as you see him starting to steadily fall off to that 51 of Bradley Wilson. So right now it looks like it's just a 3-car tango up here in the front as David Salter now got up to about a 7/10 gap between him and Bradley Wilson. We'll see if he can catch that draft and speed back up. It looks like Logan Rhodes going to be all over the back bumper. We're going to kind of cycle back here. We see Josh Carver currently sitting in that 5th spot. Stan Mayberry fighting with that 9 of Colin Forrester right now. As Colin Forrester is also, I forget, Colin Forrester is on Team Sparkle Unicorn as well. So Sparkle Unicorn still got a couple of drivers out there on the track. Colin Forrester now getting around that 99 of Stan Mayberry. Whoa, Stan Mayberry making a move to go on the inside of the 9. Gonna see if that can stick. Looks like he's got the momentum going into the corner, but the 9 gonna have the momentum coming out of corner. See the 77 of Clayton Kincart back behind them. The 84 of Casey Collenbach leaning on him. Then back behind him, you got Stoney Benfield and Patrick Ginter. And then behind them is that Matthew Fitz machine. We're gonna go back on board here with your current leaders. Bradley Wilson, who is sitting in that 3rd spot, trying his best to get up here and disrupt this Rev Motorsports 1-2, as he already put a damper in between whenever him and his teammates were up there in the lead, but he's pretty much been that little annoying brother, as Josh always says, just kind of, or the annoying girlfriend that's just always nagging you, just, hey, I'm here. He's just back there letting him know, hey, I am here. So right now, Logan Rhodes still putting on the pressure to that 82 of Ed DeBoer, but the 51 putting pressure on Logan Rhodes. It looks like Patrick Ginter around. Who is that? Case Collenbach? Looks like Patrick Ginter and Case Collenbach getting into an accident. So that's going to bring out a caution here. It's like Patrick Ginter was not having the best of time, I see. Whoa. Well, let's see if we can rewind and go back and see what happened. So it's 3 wide here. And it looks like maybe the 38 started getting a little loose. Well, let's see. You see the 84 diving it down there on the bottom, and you see the 38 taking it 4 wide there, and that's what the contact was between the 44 and the 38. Looks like Case Collenbach saw a lane open up, tried to take it to the inside. Yeah, I see. Oh. And we'll see a little bit of frustration. Well, I'm just gonna keep my words to myself. Because right now, David Salter gonna promote himself out to the lead. It looks like Bradley Wilson, Ed DeBoer, Logan Rhodes gonna pull down pit lane. Stain Mayberry also come down pit lane. Looks like Stoney Benfield, Matthew Fitz, Colin Forrester also out of pit lane. It looks like Robby Bice gonna be on his way in. Yeah, Dan, I do agree. Not really too sure what was going on there. So, like I said, that's not for me to comment on. I'll let everybody else comment on that. You know, race control and everything. That's out of my hands. Right now, David Salter gonna be your leader. Pace lights are still on, so we're gonna go around at least one more time. And as we're under caution, I'm going to go ahead and take it to one more NC811 Dig side by side. We'll go ahead and get a quick word from our sponsors while we're under caution here.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on NC811.org or the NC811 app.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit NC811.org to learn more.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
As we welcome you back from those commercial breaks, well, this is going to be it, a natural green-white caution. So we're going to see if we can keep it green for 3 more laps, or if David Salter is going to be able to hang on to this lead. The green is out. David Salter getting off to a good jump. Josh Carver in that second position. Got that 77 on the inside lane. See if he can make it stick. 77 to Clayton Kincart. Going to be on that inside lane. Ed DeBoer on the inside as well. Josh Carver looks like he's falling off on that top lane. 51 to Bradley Wilson charging on the inside. Yeah, Josh Carver just got a lot of damage on that machine. Looks like he's starting to fall off. And here comes Ed DeBoer on the inside of the 88. 88 all the way to the top of the track. Whoa! Bradley Wilson all over the back bumper of the 51 or the 88. Whoa! Almost 51 sending the 88 around, but gonna be able to keep it collected. was able to stay off that back bumper. So white flag is out. This race is official. Ed DeBoer currently sitting out in the lead. David Salter in second. Whoa! 51 trying to lead. Here comes Stoney Binfield. Stoney Binfield on the inside going around his teammate. Let's see, it's going to be a drag race. Ed DeBoer out in the lead. Bradley Wilson in second. Looks like Stoney Binfield going to get around his teammate. Ed DeBoer going to bring home the win. Bradley Wilson going to be in that second position. And then Stoney Binfield on that back straightaway took it all the way around his teammate, a David Salter. So Ed DeBoer coming around for the final time here tonight. Going to pull up to that line and burn it down. See a lot of people just burning out down there on the track. We'll go ahead and get those unofficial results pulled up on the screen. As Ed DeBoer going to be your winner here tonight. Bradley Wilson going to pull off that second place victory after having a couple of races here, not having the best of luck. Going to pull off that second place finish. Stoney Binfield going to charge through the field, finish in third. David Salter in fourth. Logan Rhodes fifth. Clayton Kincart in sixth. Josh Carver seventh. Colin Forrester eighth. Stan Mayberry ninth. Robby Bice 10th. Matthew Fitz 11th, Casey Collenbach 12th, Adam McKinney 13th, Patrick Enter 14th, Jimmy Green 15th, Austin Rhodes 16th, Chad Hitchcock 17th, Ryan Sword in 18th, and Jonathan Coombs going to round out your field in 19th position. So we're going to go ahead and wait for our drivers to get set into the driver chat, and then we will be with them as soon as they're ready to go. All right, and we're going to go ahead and wait to see if Stoney Binfield wants an interview. So go ahead and send him message real quick. We'll go ahead, and I see Ed DeBoer is already in the chat, so we'll go ahead and get him pulled up here. Get a word with your first place victor. Ed DeBoer, Chris and Josh up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy? And doing pretty good. Josh is currently not here at the moment. He has got the COVIDs, so he's not feeling too good. He tried to make it through the first half of it, but he's just not feeling too good. But it is me up here in the booth, so he's with us in spirit. So, um, but Ed, man, we saw a really dominant run out there from you tonight. You know, we saw you really charge up through the field. You got up there in the first place position, and you pretty much just stayed there. So, you know, we're looking at the points now. This is really going to shake everything up going into the top four. How you feeling after that really dominant first place finisher tonight?
Oh man, I'm feeling just I can't even speak about it, man. That felt so good. Our team crew chief Jimmy, man, gave us one hell of a setup, and it just rocked, man. It just rocked. It flew, it hooked up and went. So yeah, no, thanks to my Rev Revy Motorsports teammates there, Jimmy, Logan, Carver, Case, all you guys, man. Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, we really saw you charge up there to the front. You pretty much had, the dominant setup. We were talking about that. It looked like, the Full Throttle guys, they were, the Full Throttle Motorsports guys, they were really, they had a setup that was pretty much setting them up towards the front. But there, maybe, 10, 12 laps into it, we saw y'all really, push forward and take over the lead of that race. So, it was good to just see, the Revy Motorsports guys, just really pushing up there towards the front. I just want to know, man, how does it feel to take home the win at Homestead? Homestead's always a good track to win at.
I love Homestead. Homestead's one of my favorite tracks. For years and years and years, it was one of those tracks that just had my number and I couldn't get it figured out. And then it was just through, working together with teammates and everything and actually driving the track. It's driving the track, not driving the other drivers around you. Focusing on driving the track, hitting your marks and everything. And that's what it's all about. So yeah, and I do have a shout out to Bradley too, man. He was some hellacious competition there right behind us, and you know, pushing me. Having Bradley behind me, pushing me there at the end, it made me drive harder and drive smarter too. So thanks, Brad.
Right. Well, hey, man, if you've got any final words, thoughts, shout outs, anything before we let you go, you can throw them out there now and we'll get you out of here.
Well, number one, to the good Lord and Savior up above. I mean, all this is possible through Him. Also, 811 Dig. Can't say enough about what they do for the league, and also Josh, Chris, both you guys in the booth, all of my Revy Motorsports teammates, and all of the guys here at Full Throttle Racing. So, and my family. Can't forget my family. I mean, my wife went and picked up my son at work so I could sit here and race. So thank you to her and my boys as well. So that's all I got for now.
Well, heck yeah,
Good
man.
job. Good job.
Heck yeah, man. Well, seeing now, I just got the points here from Salter. You're going to be in the top four, so it's going to be Colin, Stan, Mayberry, you, and Logan. So that's going to be the top
Yes.
four.
Yes.
That is going to
Logan,
be the top
Scrappy, you're
four.
there with me, buddy. Let's go. Let's go bust it out, Scrappy.
Yep, so that's going to be what it looks like to me right now going into next week. So, Ed, it was good to have you up here in the booth, man. Like I said, we really appreciate the kind words and everything. And hopefully we can be talking to you up here next week at Auto Club.
I got one more Revy teammate I forgot about.
Okay.
Who? Adam McKinney. Who? Forgot about him. Can't forget about him.
Can't forget about who.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right, you too, man. And that was your first place winner of Ed DeBoer. We'll go ahead and see. I'm not that good at moving people like Josh is. So, going to go ahead and get that second place position of Bradley Wilson and have a word with him. Bradley Wilson, this is Chris and Josh up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Well, we saw you have a really spirited run. You came all the way from the back. You pretty much got up here and showed that you were the car to really have to fight against. You know, you really put a number in between those Revy Motorsports guys. You know, they were trying their best to hang on to that lead, or trying to keep those teammates together, but you kept poking your nose up in between them and really disrupting that teammate vibe. How does it feel to walk away with the second place finish after having to battle up and really fight with the Revy Motorsports guys?
It feels really good to get a top three, especially a top two. Wish we could have went for the win there, but Ed just had a really solid car. Really got to thank Rev for the setup, man. There's none like them. They're just so dominant week in, week out. Jimmy said, "Here's the setup and run with it. I'm not going to mess with any playoff guys. I'm just here to have a fun time now."
Yeah, I feel that, man. You had a really dominant car. As you said, the Rev guys, they really seem to have a really good setup under them. So Jimmy seems to have really put the time into Homestead. It kind of sucks that he got involved in that little bit of an early wreck and got knocked out of it. But hey, Bradley, that's one of them things, man. That's racing. But you were able to walk away with that second place finish. Is there anything you could have done there different to get that win, or were you just fighting it trying to stay behind him?
I might have went to the high side later in the long tire runs. Might have gotten it, but I knew Ed was fighting for a spot and Logan both, so I wasn't trying to mess with him too much.
Okay, well I can respect that. That is it's definitely a big respect thing. But Bradley, you came up here. You've had a rough past couple of well hell I can say months really. You've had a rough couple of months here, in the Full Throttle series. So it's good to have you back up here in the booth. Good to have you in that second place position. Like you said, wish you could have got that first place, but hey, take a podium any day, over last place. But if you got any final words, thoughts, shout outs, anything before we get you out of here, man, you can go ahead and shout them out now.
Just huge thank you to Rev and Jimmy Green for giving me a setup tonight. It was amazing. Shenandoah Shine, White Knuckle Esports, Abbey Racing Esports, Elite Performance Industries. They usually have bomb setups for us. Just Jimmy did something to his setup that just worked so well for this track. And I think they're going to be a pretty dominant team over the next 2 weeks. But everyone on my team for helping me, Clayton Kincart, me, Colton Kincart, Scott Bryant for coming in and entertaining us in this long race, the Rev guys for racing me clean, and just seemed to work really well tonight.
Well, heck yeah, man. It's good to have you up here in that second place position. So we really appreciate you taking the time out, and congratulations on that second place finish, man.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, man. Well, have a good night, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week.
All right, we're hoping on it.
All right, buddy. Have a good night.
You too.
And that was Bradley Wilson, your second place finisher. So we're going to go ahead and get Stoney Benfield and get a word from your third place finisher. If I can get it pulled up here. Stoney Benfield, Chris and Josh up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I'm doing great, guys. How you guys doing this evening?
Doing good. Josh is not here right now. He got diagnosed with COVID earlier, so he is currently laying in the bed. He started off in the first half of the race, and he just started feeling worse and worse, and he's like, I can't do it anymore. So I told him, I was like, go ahead, I'll take over it for the rest of the night. But he's doing that. But right now I'm decent. So thank you for asking. But good to have you up here in that third place position, Stoney, man. You were out there battling all night. How does it feel to bring home that third place finish?
Oh, it feels great, Chris. I got behind a little bit there at the first of the race, and got in a couple little bump ups, got a lap down, and just decided to take care of my equipment and be patient. And the cautions fell my way and got me back on the lead lap, and then I had an opportunity to have a decent finish.
Yeah, we saw you make that move there on the 88 of David. David Salter. We saw you make that move on that the last lap. He did have. I want to say he came down and got tires, or maybe he just took fuel. Not really sure, but I want to say he was out there in the lead. But you definitely just skated on past him there going into turn 3. Man, you had a big old run on him. So yeah, like you were saying, it's good to see you. You had those little bit of bumps, a little bit of banging going on. You did fall a couple of laps down, but you were able to bring it back up, and you were able to bring home that third place finish. So it's good to have you up here in the booth, Stoney.
Yeah, Salter, he was out of tires, so on that last
Ah,
caution, I dove in and had fresh tires, and so I had the run on him, and so it turned out really well, Chris.
yeah, no, man, that's something that I was actually, because my brother's still technically listening, but I had the mic muted whenever you got the run, and I was like, oh my God, Stoney got the run on him. So I was telling Josh, I was like, oh my gosh, Stoney passed him for the third place finish. So man, that was a good run from you though. You qualified up near the front. You were like we said, you fell back, but you were able to bring it back up to the front. So Stoney, good spirited run from you, man. Hopefully we can have another word with you next week. But if you've got any final words, thoughts, shout outs, anything like that, man, before we let you go, we'll get you out of here. You can throw them out there now.
Yeah, I do. I want to thank North Carolina 811 Call Before You Dig. They're our title sponsor for the league here this year, but they're also my personal sponsor. And I just couldn't do it without them. But Ann Rushing and Brian Morehouse and all the people over there. So big shout out to North Carolina 811. So if anybody's listening and you have a need, call before you dig, dial 811. And then also, Chris, first and foremost, I'm a Christian. And man, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for all that He's done for me and all He's given me. And I had a great run tonight. So it's been awesome and look forward to next week. Thank you so much for interviewing me.
Yes, sir. Thank you for being up here, and hopefully we'll be having another word with you here in the future, Stoney.
10-4. Thank you, man.
Thank you. And that was your third place finisher, Stoney Benfield. As I'm terrible at this. There we go. All right, and that was your third place finisher of Stoney Benfield. So now this is going to be where we say good night. Just going to want to give a big shout out to everybody out there on that Facebook, on that YouTube chat. Big shout out to everybody who stuck with us all night and was able to watch this awesome racing that the Full Throttle boys were able to give us. We only had 4 cautions, so that was really set up for some awesome racing. But big shout out to Ed DeBoer, Bradley Wilson, Stoney Bidfield on that first, second, third finish. But like Stoney said, want to give a big shout out to NC811 Dig. Call before you dig. Big shout out for them coming on, being a part of this league. Big shout out to Cook's Lawn Care. Big shout out to Major Garage Setup, and big shout out to the Full Throttle family. Big shout out to Robby Bice and all of them, all the guys in the background that are able to allow us to do this and, allow us to be able to have fun. So, as me, Chris, and speaking for Josh, we hope you had a good night here tonight. And we cannot wait going into the Final Four. As we said, the Final Four as of tonight, Colin Forrester is going to walk away with that first position. Stan Mayberry in second, Ed DeBoer in third, and Logan Rhodes is going to be that fourth driver going into next week at Auto Club. So don't miss it next week at 8 o'clock Eastern. We will be live at Auto Club. Have a good night, everyone.